Let's take a look now, a listen, as it were, to some of the arguing that took place between the litigants in this civil case.
Well, I f***ed up and cried in my bedroom after I had dumped you a week prior. A week prior after you beat the shit out of me. And then a week later you show up at my doorstep in my room saying you want to say goodbye. Okay, say goodbye.
Oh, I said it?
Yes, you did say it. I'll go to the text messages so that we are clear on the tape.
Yes, you said it before to me.
Okay. No doubt. But you did not say you're going to come over to say bye?
I made a huge mistake.
You didn't say that to me?
Huge mistake.
You didn't say that to me?
Well, I won't do it again.
What's the mistake then? Did you or did you not say you're coming over to say bye?
You have not been able to do...
No, I meant exactly what I said.
What did you say?
At least I'm not doing it behind your back. I'm telling you. Okay. You gave me shit that I was recording, and I said, yeah, I'm recording, but at least I'm telling you.
Okay.
And if you had asked me not to, I wouldn't.
Walking away is necessary. Is necessary, especially between you and I. It is of utmost importance, because the next move, if I don't walk away, or just go out for a little while, it's just gonna be a bloodbath, and like like it was on the island, of course, like it was, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
Why be miserable? Can we just
the options are there.
Have some semblance of understanding for each other?
Please, can we? Because I'm not trying to say, hey, by the way, no one in their right mind is going to choose bloodbath over walking away. Obviously, if you're given the option between the two,
then why has it been chosen so many times?
That snowball. It is not a distinct choice that either one of us make at any discernible point.
No, it's stubbornness, and it's all
and it builds, right? Like you build, I build. It isn't like at one moment either of us sign a certificate of saying, or like sign the contract, or say, okay, now a bloodbath. No. So acting as though there's a choice between the two is irrelevant. I'm not asking you to stay over having a bloodbath. Over walking away. I'm not asking you to have a bloodbath over walking away. I'm asking you to work it out over prolonging it and making it bigger.
If I don't walk away, it's going to be a bloodbath. So Johnny Depp tells Amber Heard. So is that just him being flamboyant and just kind of a character? Or is he really seriously afraid that if he doesn't walk away during one of these discussions, becoming arguments, becoming worse, he's going to do something violent? That's one of the questions the jury's going to have to figure out here. Mitra Ahouraian is here. She's a trial attorney. She's in the entertainment legal biz as well. It seems to me, as we've seen with a lot of the evidence coming into this case, that one of the players seems to be more aggressive than the other. Amber Heard seems to be more the pursuer. Doesn't mean that Johnny Depp can't be and hasn't been abusive. It just means that he seems to be trying to avoid that. What do you think with this latest tape?
I would agree with that, and I would agree that that's been sort of the testimony that we heard from the plaintiffs all along the way. His learned behavior from his childhood, stay out of the line of fire and escape situations that are confrontational. And for whatever reason, that triggers Amber, and she wants him to stay, and he realizes, I'm not going to be able to take any more of this fighting. So the best thing, or the way he says, the most crucial thing, is for him to sort of walk away. And with respect to calling it a bloodbath, we've seen all throughout that Johnny's language is colorful, and he uses these phrases that are sometimes extreme. And bloodbath, they actually did have a situation where there was a bloodbath, so to speak, but he may not be referring to that happening every single time. That might be a metaphor, but I think the idea is that things will only escalate if I stay.
Yeah, and we've seen that. We've seen the escalation. So if you're representing Johnny Depp, and you can't tone down what has been, he talks how he talks, and that the recording is what it is. How do you make it clear to this jury that that's just, Johnny Depp being Johnny Depp?
Well, I think what we've seen plaintiff's counsel do so far is allow him to speak and be himself and speak the way he does and kind of go on and try to explain himself. And I think just in the course of observation, that's something that the jury is probably picking up, that this is the way he talks. He says these phrases that sometimes don't mean what, might not mean what he says they mean or what we take them to mean. And I think just letting him speak in the way that he speaks normally on the stand really allows us to see,
Depp,
what some of these things mean.
Yeah, I mean, he's an actor, and so you've got to put in context what he says with what he really meant. These are not literal discussions. That's the argument, to kind of downplay some of his language. Well, there was a very interesting, we've seen texts too, and there was a very interesting message sent by Johnny Depp to Dr. Kipper. Remember, Dr. Kipper was brought in to help with the detox and the other substance abuse issues that Mr. Depp was dealing with. So this was for March 8, 2015, while allegedly under the influence. Let's watch.
Mr. Depp, on this date, right after you had suffered an injury to your finger, you text Dr. Kipper and you say, "Hi, man, had another one. I just cannot live like this. She is as full of as a Christmas goose. I'm done. No more. The constant insults, the demeaning, belittling, most heartbreaking spew that is only released from a malicious, evil, and vindictive. But you know what? Far more hurtful than her venomous and degrading, endless educational ranting is her hideously and purposely hurtful tirades and her goddamn shocking treatment of the man she was meant to love. Above all, here's the real deal, mate. Her obsession with herself is far more important. She is so ambitious. She's so desperate for success and fame. That's probably why I was acquired, mate. Although she has hammered me with what a sad old man has-been I am, Cowan has done me the most cruel of favors. I'm so very sad. I cut the top of my middle finger off. What should I do? Except, of course, go to a hospital. I'm so embarrassed for jumping into anything with her. The world." Did I read that right?
Yes, Mr. Rottenborn.
So even as you are ranting about Miss Heard to Dr. Kipper, even as you were talking about her ambition and expressing your objections to that, you still admit to him that you cut the top of your middle finger off, correct?
Objection, compound.
It's the status compound.
You're complaining about her ambition in this text to her, to Dr. Kipper, correct?
I'm realizing that her ambition is far stronger than her supposed feelings for me, yes.
And there's nothing about this text that's trying to protect her.
Protect her? From what?
And you tell Dr. Kipper, I cut the top of my middle finger off in this text, correct?
It's just the way it was worded. It doesn't mean that I actually literally cut my finger off after, at the age of 12, finding the only thing that gave me peace, which is playing the guitar. Very unlikely. Why didn't I start lopping off digits when I was 13 then?
Okay, so before straying off into his love for music, Johnny Depp basically saying that, hey, Amber Heard, was using me. She thinks I'm a worn-out has-been, but she has career dreams, and I can help her. That's his take. Now, let's contrast that with the text message that Depp sent to Paige, Amber's mother. This was during his detox back in August 2014.
And in this text message that you write Amber's mom on August 19th, 2014, you say, "My dearest Paige, how unbelievably kind and pure your message was. I am beyond thankful to have you in my life. There is no luckier man on this earth to have the strength that Amber gives me and the full support of each of you individually that I've gotten helps immeasurably. I don't need to explain the horrors to you. You know as well as I. What you do need to know that your daughter has risen far above the nightmarish task of taking care of this poor old junkie. Never a second has gone by that she didn't look out for me or have her eyes on me to make sure that I was okay. YN words are truly feeble in attempting to explain her heroism in a text. Suffice to say that I have never met or loved a woman or a thing more. She has the strength of 1,000 men, and that is due to no one or nothing but you, sweetheart. Thank you. I love you. Your son, Outlaw. Did I read that correctly?
You did, sir.
So this text obviously gives Amber Heard glowing, honors and thanks through her mother. Mitra, let me ask you this. Mitra Ahouraian is here, trial attorney and entertainment biz attorney. We say things in a different way to different people, depending on what you want, what you're trying to say. How powerful is it, if at all, that this text to the mom, talking about Amber in glowing terms, is so different than the one talking to the doctor about Amber?
Well, first off, look, this is a complicated relationship. It's a relationship where two people love each other very much, but have created a toxic dynamic. And I think that's been established on both sides, including when the marriage counselor said that there was mutual abuse. So the complexities of these emotions don't really surprise me. And you pointed out so wonderfully, first of all, this is in response to a kind message from his mother-in-law. And in turn, he is responding in kindness. I don't know the timing of when these exchanges were sent, but they were certainly not just after this huge fight where Johnny Depp's finger was cut off. The text messages that we saw just after that were the ones that were the ugly text messages responding to the situation that had just happened, versus a response to Amber Heard's mother, who had just sent him a very kind and loving email that we did not see.
Yeah, and just a tip for anybody: you don't really want to send an email to your mother-in-law ragging on the daughter. It's probably not the best way to be invited to Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner or anything else. So it makes perfect sense in context that this sounds like two different people writing very different texts, because effectively it is.